1,600 episodes is what they have done when they got to New Orleans on, what was this past Monday, January the 22nd? Yes.
22nd.
22nd. And we've already talked in this program that you've heard by now about the Punk and Cody segment, but that was at the 10 o'clock hour. So we got to start because there's some other things bubbling around. And the opening promo was Seth Franklin Rollins coming out with the knee brace, and where they had announced that he was going to reveal what his future holds or whatever, the injury, how bad is it, what's going on. And I think a lot of people were aware of this, even though it just happened the previous week, because they not only sang "Whoa" for a while, which they normally do, but then there was an organic round of appreciation applause, and then a "Thank you, Seth" chant. So, and I mean, also he came out with a knee brace on over the pants of his Cesar Romero special, but he wasn't like overly limping or on crutches or whatever. So unless they knew, Brian, don't you think something was up to begin with, they're tuned into it. They wouldn't have gone to that length unless they knew he had some bad news to impart.
I think word like that amongst even the casual fans spreads pretty quickly in a building. Seth Rollins is hurt. They're going to start with Rollins. What's this I hear about Rollins? Someone else says something.
Well, it's even been on, it was advertised where, he's got some infirmity that's going on, but a lot of times still with people that just buy tickets and think I'll go to this as a lark. They're not. When you get to that number, the WWE fans are usually in these buildings for the TVs these days. A lot of them are not the internet fans that hang on every word. But they knew about it. And, I got the feeling this is a big time presentation from this, because you could see that Seth was emotional for real, because he's like, fuck, my knee, I know, how he might feel. But you can see the tear forming up in his eye, and they get the shots. The presentation of it, a star is talking to people that are interested here, and it's working, as opposed to, and like we talked about with Punk and Cody, as opposed to where it seems like they're just talking at them over in AEW these days. But anyway, Seth, last week, the moonsault against Jinder, he felt the knee go. He knew something was up in the back, and he was afraid that he might miss Mania. And he got the MRI results, and they aren't great. The torn MCL and a partial meniscus tear. But surgery would be 3 to 4 months. It sounded like, that he was trying to lead the people down the path that, he's going to miss Mania. And at that point, boom, Gunther music. And he's got some heat now. Have you noticed from the people? And he looks and acts like a main eventer, and he's more relaxed now than he was when he moved up to the main roster and he was a little stiffer. He's more condescending and natural. He's getting into this. And, he put Seth over. He said, I'm going to honestly tell you what I think of you. You're a workhorse champion that everybody can be proud of, and blah, 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 just like me. And Gunther said that he's sad to see Seth, like this, and might not make WrestleMania. And that's when Seth said, well, you should have let me finish, because I don't give a damn what the doctors say. I will defend the title at WrestleMania, and I'm going to do everything in my power to walk out World Heavyweight Champion. So if they're trying to follow the rules to an extent, a babyface never swears and promises unless he's going to do it. And when I heard that line, when I heard I will defend the title at WrestleMania, but I'll do everything in my power to walk out as champion. That's why I think they're going to do something where he comes back. He's not 100%. Gunther fucking ruins the leg and becomes the champion with Seth having an out and Gunther getting heat for it, which means Gunther has to win the Royal Rumble. You see why I'm led in that direction like a horse to water, Brian?
I do, and I do think actually Gunther is the guy who can legitimize that title. If he has anything like the run he's had with the Intercontinental belt, not even anything against Rollins, but he was the first guy with a made-up belt, and then he had to start pretending like it was the most established, honorable belt. It's not. Gunther winning it makes it that. If Rollins is hurt, Rollins is hurt. If he can get through a WrestleMania match, you want Gunther beating him as opposed to winning a held-up title. And then, like I said the other day or in the future or whatever it was, Hulk Hogan, when he lost to... When the Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 6, he had to vacate the Intercontinental belt. That way you get the belt off Gunther without him having to lose.
There you go. And that's why when Seth said that, Gunther said, I'm glad to hear it, and I admire that, and I'd do the same thing. So from one great champion to another, and he said on Sunday, and then Michael Cole had a goddamn seizure after the thing was over. He said, no, it's Saturday. But on Sunday, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble and choose you at WrestleMania and target your knee and everything that's not 100% and beat you for the title. So he's actually doing what we've said. Say, yes, I want you hurt and at a percentage of your normal self so I can beat you easier. Jesus Christ, it's not that fucking difficult. And then Seth says, well, I appreciate your honesty. Remember who you're coming after, which was kind of weak. Because it's not like he strikes fear in the hearts of children like, fucking Abdullah the Butcher or whatever. But Gunther then said, you better remember who's coming after you. And that was better.
He's so intimidating without even doing anything. He just has that presence.
Yeah. The big face and the long fucking arms and legs. And
the voice. Yeah. The voice adds to it.
And then they do the shake hands type of thing where I hate you and this is all phony and I'm going to fuck you around when I get the chance. And then suddenly the New Day hit the ring and attack Kaiser and Da Vinci. And they get in a little bit of a flurry and just go to the break. So that was that segment and that, I mean, they're going to have a match when we come back. But before we get into that, again, Gunther moving into that level. And are they going to be serendipitous enough here to make Seth suffering a minor injury actually turn out to be a positive in this story and lead to a highly demanded rematch as soon as Seth is 100%?
And I like Rollins so much better when he's not hamming it up. I know that's his gimmick, and obviously it's working for him. I hate it. But when he's out there talking and being serious and showing real emotion,
yeah.
And we didn't really even get to see like real anger or anything here. It was just a real guy having these things. You relate to him, and he's good like that. When he's putting on a fabricated personality, it comes across that way. Fans like singing songs. They'll sing anyone's songs. There are plenty of songs they sing and then they go silent. Rollins is better than that. He was good here. And Gunther, I said it the other day, he's the best bully in wrestling without having to do anything. He's bigger, he's tougher, he's scarier. The big thing down the road is him and Lesnar, if they ever got to do it, because then you have someone.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine him face to face what that would be like. I can imagine Lesnar squashing the other guys because that's their role, but good segment. The best. Well, Rollins and Drew McIntyre was really good. They've had a string of really good hate to call them talking segments now, but that's what you got to call them.
Confrontation.
They're not promos. They're not really building up anything. They're just talking to each other. But this was a great segment. This is a really good Rollins segment.
Gunther is like if Eddie Haskell grew up and became a steroid distributor. Eh?
Can
you see it?
No.
Okay.